Hello and thanks for staying with us on your channel of choice, Africa Independent Television AIT. Let me welcome you to the Signature Show. My name is Mwabozi Njoko, and in this edition of the program this Sunday, non-state actors lay siege to Abuja, Nigeria's capital, and shocks residents are confused by uncoordinated information management. All Progressive Congress APC Muslim ticket opens new issues in northern Nigeria as chieftains of APC in northern Nigeria, Christian chieftains, reject their party's ticket. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, ends voter registration this Sunday. Own staff undermine the Commission's effort to give eligible Nigerians a chance to register. Now, what's wrong with an Ogoni governor in Rivers State? Ogoni indigents begin to ask questions. Plus, our thank you and corruption story. Please stay with us. Now, I wish to state without equivocation that one of the challenges faced by Nigeria today in the management of its insecurity challenge is the abuse and misuse of the social media. Rumors, instigated fear, outright falsehood are being pushed into the media space, social media space. The result, a confused and frightened population. And the Nigerian government is not helping matters. After the ruling All Progressive Congress won election through a combined, and I must confess, well-coordinated propaganda, lying with statistics and the bogey of a nation about to sink, it has proved thoroughly incapable of managing the reality of insecurity confronting its own government. Now, last week, Abuja was on edge. Schools were hurriedly closed. Nigeria's elite guard, the Brigade of Guards, lost some soldiers in two separate attacks by terrorists. Nasarawa State, which shares borders with Abuja, closed all its schools. Now, these steps, though quite necessary, I must say, naturally created panic in the population. The Nigerian military has since provided an account of how they lost some soldiers. And the National Security Advisor has very uninspiringly promised more strategic moves to contain the situation.
We are in a very difficult situation. The Council understands, Mr. President understands people's concerns about the growing insecurity. But I can assure you that there's no straight, cut and dried method of dealing with this thing unless all of us embrace each other. Members of the armed forces have also made a commitment that in the coming weeks, they've already started working on a new strategy to deal with these snippets of violence, and they've given their word, their commitment to the president that there will be a change in momentum, regardless of the fact that there might be certain institutional limitations which they face.
Troops of 7 Guard Battalion and 167 Special Forces Battalion, in conjunction with the air component of Operation Wild Punch, conducted clearance patrols around Boa General area between 24 and 26 July. Troops successfully cleared Kawo and Ido villages. Consequently, about 30 terrorists were neutralized after the bombardment, and their enclave and hideouts were destroyed. We've achieved a lot within that. That's why I'm confident to tell everybody that the security of lives and property of citizens of Abuja in particular is very, very assured, and operations are still ongoing.
But please, it is time the Nigerian government admitted to itself that Nigeria is at war. And there must now be a situation room from where Nigerians could be briefed on what is happening and what to do. The present staccato approach to management of information on Nigeria's insecurity leaves the very unreliable, propaganda-prone, and easy to be manipulated and controlled by the enemy social media, the medium on which many people rely. It is creating confusion. But there are other issues arising from the siege to the Nigerian capital by terrorists. And there were indications that Kwali Area Council, Buhari Area Council, and Zuba had successfully been breached by the terrorists. Members of Nigeria's National Assembly became suddenly vocal in demanding accountability on national security. Monies have been appropriated, equipment have been said to have been procured. President Muhammadu Buhari had in fact said that he had provided all that the security agencies asked for. He had done his best. Yet terrorists were heading right into Asorok and even threatening to kidnap the president himself. The clowning members of the National Assembly suddenly remembered that they can get the president out of the way. Now maybe because the terrorists were also coming for them.
To discuss issues as they relate to security in this country, especially the happenings in Abuja and happenings all over the country. And we agreed that the primary responsibility of government is the protection of lives and property of citizens. Obviously. And for us, the minority caucus in the Senate, we also took into cognizance the fact that the Senate had at various levels, at various times, convened various security meetings, various security issues were discussed, and we did recommend to government various steps and measures aimed at curbing these issues of insecurity. We realized that even Abuja that we are in is no longer no more safe, and all of you will agree with us. And so at the closed session we agreed that we will give the president an ultimatum that failing which, if it is not complied with, will move immediately to give an impeachment notice. And this we agreed at our the executive session, at closed door session.
When the issues matter and the need to know matters.
The chief of staff of Nigeria couldn't go to his village because it was being occupied by Boko Haram.
Politicians and political parties have massively used money to buy votes and to change the course of electoral direction.
You will also remember the very APC itself set up a Rufai committee recommending restructuring doesn't mean anything. Go back to federalism.
Or the fun and the fair to relieve everyday care.
Life is a riddle, my son. The land bled when Uvoranwen was put in shackles. Heaven wept when Saruwiwa was laid to rest.
Everything comes with the Judge Too Funny. Everything comes with who I am.
The Signature Show, your show that matters, on AIT every Sunday at 2 p.m. Now, before the legislators woke up from their indulgent sleep, correspondent Chibozobi had on January 15, 2022, raised the issue of insecurity and Nigeria's ungoverned spaces in a special report.
In the run-up to the 2015 election, Nigeria's security challenge was one issue that was central in the whole election campaign. The government of Goodluck Jonathan and his security chiefs rolled out their efforts at containing the insurgency in the nation's northeast states. Nigerians were not satisfied because parts of Nigeria's territory were in the hands of terrorists and pretentious Islamic purists. The Muhammadu Buhari campaign outfit and their handlers took the Jonathan government to the cleaners, portraying it as weak, confused, and incompetent. Buhari, then candidate of the All Progressives Congress, among his promises, assured Nigerians that he would address the insecurity question terminally. Just last week, the governor of Borno State, Babagana Zulum, told Nigerians that terrorists still control 2 local governments, Abadam and Guzamala in Borno State, and collect taxes on highways in the southern axis of the state. Boko Haram and bandits run the everyday lives of many local governments in Niger and Zamfara states. Kaduna State has become a killing field for insurgents and bandits and the den of kidnappers. This means that neither the Jonathan administration nor the present government led by a hard-nosed General Muhammadu Buhari has been able to address the nation's security challenge meaningfully.
The 2 presidents, both the past president Goodluck Jonathan and the present president and the president of Muhammadu Buhari, have really failed in terms of security. I think it's worse in this administration. It was a bit fair in the last administration. We were managing it until when this government came to power, we noticed that security has totally derailed from what we used to know.
As both past and present governments have deployed boots and guns, many analysts have shifted attention to what could be responsible for Nigeria's unending insecurity, which in fact seems to have been spreading across the country and acquiring more sophistication.
Bandits here about insurgency, kidnapping, land grabbing, and so on and so forth. It's just pathetic that we are facing this type of problem at this point in time when we have a former general, a military general, as the president of this great country. So it's really pathetic, it's really sorrowful, it's really shameful.
The issue of Nigeria's ungoverned spaces needs to be understood and analyzed to inform any meaningful and effective response to Nigeria's insecurity. In most instances, ungoverned spaces relate to absence of government presence, judicial presence, and infrastructure presence. These are true and would, for instance, raise the question of how Nigeria is developing its border, far-flung and inaccessible communities. There are communities in Nigeria that today require a day's journey to access a health facility, a police station, or a court. Such a situation creates a vacuum which all manner of elements, including terrorists, feel and constitute a threat to the Nigerian state. The citizens seem to willingly cooperate with these elements because they are the government that they know.
The people in the rural areas, they are being neglected. You understand? Government policies do not really reach those rural areas. Like, let me give you an instance, like the northern areas. You find that in rural areas, education do not get to those nitty-gritty. So when they are idle and they are not being educated to know their left from their right, some other fanatics take advantage of them.
However, there are other ungoverned spaces in Nigeria where government absence or ineffectiveness lays the nation bare for occupation by deviant elements to the detriment of all Nigerians. For instance, Nigeria's education system has become loose, aimless, directionless in content, and admits all manner of players, especially at lower level. Also, education in northern Nigeria, which under the Sultan of Sokoto, Sir Ahmadu Bello's regional government was coordinated and had a clear direction, has today been taken over by doubtful malams who run Quranic schools that have no content to prepare the children for life in this 21st century. The products of the system have become ready recruits for all manner of interests, including politicians, religious bigots and deviants, as well as criminals and terrorists. In the southern part of the country, education has become just decorative and empty certification without content. Products of the Nigeria's education, which in fact is ungoverned space, have therefore become ready recruits for kidnappers, yahoo, political jobbers, and sundry non-state operators who constitute insecurity challenge for Nigeria.
Government has not extended education to them. What do you expect from them? Any good fellow that comes to thwart them and sweep on them, then they will follow those fellows.
The same situation is playing out in many other facets of the Nigerian's life, such that anti-state actors like drug barons, money launderers, religious bigots, and frontline businessmen fill Nigeria's many ungoverned or ungoverned spaces and create security challenges for Nigeria. These anti-state actors have infiltrated Nigeria's governance structure and system, and it is only the effective reoccupation of these spaces by the government and the general political leaders through functional, skilled, and effective institutions with clearly spelled out objectives that these anti-state occupants can be driven out.
There need to be strong policies. There need to be strong, sound, clear-cut policies on education. First of all, education must be free for all, from the basics. And after going to school, not just going to school and leaving them to their fates, provide at least an enabling environment and soft landing so that they can take off.
If this is not understood in its finest sense, and only bullets and guns are deployed, Nigeria's security challenge could take deep roots and become a national existential threat. This is the challenge that faces Nigeria's next president.
Now, did it make any meaning to our legislators beyond ensuring that the allowances were paid and constituency projects provided a means for them to access more resources? Meanwhile, the Muslim ticket of the All Progressive Congress APC in the 2023 presidential election is creating deeper discontent within the party than the proponents had envisaged. Last Friday, Christian Northern APC chieftains, in rejecting the ticket and in a veiled threat to work against that ticket, threw up other issues afflicting the politics of fairness and equity in northern Nigeria.
This is truly a wake-up call for all Nigerian Christians. We didn't start this religious politics. APC and its candidates did. So all of us should take note and act as appropriate. Religion does matter in this context, so APC should be ready for the consequences of the outcome. We want to enjoy social and economic developments like other parts of the world, but without peace, justice, and religious harmony, this is not possible. There are 28 federal universities located in the north. Of these 28, 23 vice chancellors are Muslims, 5 are Christians. The state universities and in the north are 22 as of today. Of these, 17 are Muslims, 5 are Christians. There are 21 federal polytechnics located in the north. Out of these, 18 are Muslims rectors, 3 are Christian rectors. As of today, there are 20 state polytechnics located in the north. Of these 20, 16 are Muslims, while 4 are Christians. Of the 23 federal colleges of education located in northern Nigeria, 22 provosts are Muslims, 1 is a Christian.
When we talk about a Muslim ticket, God forbid that we should be understood to be objecting to Muslim, or that we don't want Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu to be the president of Nigeria. It is not about Senator Kashim Shettima either, but it is about what is right and what is wrong. It is about justice, fairness, and equity. There has never been a time in our history that we are as divided. We are battling terrorism, banditry, kidnapping for ransom, secessionists, and all manner of challenges. Consequently, anyone who thinks that events in Nigeria in 2022 are not novel but routine as they were in 1993 is totally incapable of finding solutions to challenges currently ravaging our dear nation.
Well, those whom the gods want to destroy, they first make, I say, deaf, then mad, and then kaput. This is the Signature Show on AIT. We take a short break and return. Please stay with us. Now, still on politics, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, ends the voter registration exercise by 5 p.m. Nigerian time today. The Commission has shown an incredible commitment to making the exercise a watershed in the electoral process in Nigeria through its public enlightenment push, media collaboration and cooperation, and the very massive deployment of manpower and machines across the entire country. A pressure group based in Onitsha, Anambra State, Ndi Igbo Unity Forum, had raised the alarm that INEC officials themselves were frustrating the process in the southeast, demanding bribe before prospective voters were being registered, or they pretend that the machines were not functioning and leaving voters stranded. Many people dismiss that alarm as false. But in the course of last week, here is what Signature Show correspondent captured firsthand.
At the LEA Primary School in Kubwa Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory, there is a Nazi Germany racket going on. INEC officials walk into anxious voters to negotiate fees for quick and easy registration. And surely, the INEC official in charge of the ICT comes over to check the number of willing clients. Meanwhile, while other voters wait for long hours without getting registered, the ICT officials who have created a false situation of malfunctioning machine process the registration of those who have paid. Then, our undercover reporter moves in to strike a deal.
Yeah, I never do. I just very fresh registration. I tell something. Anybody go do fresh registration for you. I know they do fresh registration because it cost 50. Anybody go do fresh registration for you go charge you nothing less than 3,000. 3,000. Oh boy. Except na transfer I won't do. Okay.
Well, as Nigeria rightly celebrates the massive response to the registration exercise, there are many more who will not exercise their franchise. Not because INEC did not do the right things, nor that the electorate did not show interest, but because corruption put a hurdle in the way of a process that should be simple and straightforward. In Abuja, I am Marvelous Obomman for Signature Show.
You are watching a Signature Show on AIT. Now, here is a question being asked in Rivers State. What is wrong with an Ogoni governor? The Rivers State and indeed the Nigerian story cannot be told without devoting an entire chapter to the Ogoni nation. The contribution of Ogoni people to the resource base of both Rivers State and Nigeria. The sacrifices of Ogoni people in exposing the machinations of international oil companies as they despoil the land to enrich their home economies. The contributions of Ogoni people in the political conversation of Nigeria and in the learning and literature. They lost their finest in these efforts. And it seems that the political equation wants to consign the Ogoni people to irrelevance. So, what is wrong with an Ogoni governor in Rivers State, if humanity, equity, and fairness have any place in Nigeria and Rivers State politics. In the upland riverine balancing of politics in Rivers State, is Ogoni any less upland? Our Port Harcourt correspondent, Ifunanya Echendu, took up this issue with Dr. Lawrence Adwe, an Ogoni opinion leader and executive director of finance, GM Capital. It is our conversation for this Sunday. Please stay with us.
Since the creation of River State, Ogoni has played a very prominent role, not just in the creation, but also in the development of River State. And from then till now, being the second largest ethnic group in River State, don't forget that River State is a multi-ethnic state. And so being the second largest ethnic group in River State, everybody would have expected that the Ogoni people will be given their pride of place. However, that has never happened. And that's why the people are crying. I give you some typical examples. For instance, since the creation of River State till today, no Ogoni man has been governor, no Ogoni man has been deputy governor, no Ogoni man has been chief judge of the state, not even the speaker of the State House of Assemblies. So the question is, does it mean we don't have qualified people from the Ogoni extraction that can occupy this position? Does it mean the Ogoni people have not made reasonable contribution to earn them, this respected position to be occupied? Is that what we're saying? Or is it that the Ogonis don't have a part to play in occupying such offices, like is the exclusive preserve for certain ethnic groups? Those are the questions that are agitating the minds of the people, especially the Ogoni people. If you look at it today, you will discover that Ogoni people, in terms of managerial capability, they have developed themselves. They have that capacity. They have really worked on themselves, unlike the Ogoni of yesterday. Now in Nigeria, the issue of resource control is no longer news. And who started it? The Ogoni people started it. When the late Ken Sarua, encouraged the people and enlightened the Ogoni people. Marginalization is one subject that nobody can claim to be ignorant about as far as the Ogoni people are concerned. And that's why it is very important that in public discourse, this particular issue should dominate. People should talk about it. People should talk about it, how the Ogonis are marginalized. Are you talking about, in terms of fair economic deal, the Ogoni people are not there? Are you talking about political participation when it comes to distribution of offices that everybody should be looking at? Look, these people are qualified to occupy this office. The Ogoni people are not there. So marginalization is a key thing as far as the Ogoni nation is concerned. There are several individuals in Ogoni, educated, influential, and all that. But it doesn't matter who you are. Your personal opinion, most of the time, of course, cannot go around to bring to the Ogonis what they desire. But Muscle has been able to harness the desires and voices of the Ogoni people together and present a common front to the people out there on behalf of the Ogoni. So when they say the Ogoni people have not presented a common front, to let the world know about the issue of marginalization, I don't agree with them. Our elites have done so much. They are still trying. What we need is the authorities to hear us out and then respect our feelings, respect our demand, honor our nation by looking at the things that we need that they have not done, that are necessary that they need to do, and do them. Not pushing wrong narratives against, the proper presentations that are done by our elites for the people. No, that will keep us in perpetual agitation, and that's not what we want. One of the articles in the Ogoni Bill of Rights is adequate representation of the Ogoni people in institutions of government, both at the national level and the state level. But you see, there's always this wrong perception about things, especially when government is trying to renege on their responsibility. They always try to look for loophole. Like my friend would say, that the best way tax consultants help their clients is to look for loopholes in the tax laws and somersaults within the loopholes. And I think that's what the government tries to do. I heard someone say the other day that the whole Bill of Rights was presented to the federal government and not the state government. So the state government is not under any obligation to implement anything in the Bill of Rights, since it was purely a document presented to the federal government. But come to think of it, government participation. We have 3 basic tiers of governments in a country like Nigeria: the federal, the state, and the local government. So if the people are crying that they need representation in government, government is government. At the state level, there are actors, there are people that play within the state level. At the local government level, of course, is predominantly local, as we will say. At the federal level, we also have actors at the federal level. So, if a document was presented to the federal government and advocating a particular thing to be done to the Ogoni people, and the state government is a lower tier, in the government classification and scheme of things. So why can't the state government borrow a leaf from whatever that is supposed to be done and replicate it at the state level? The problem we have in Nigeria, especially when it comes to representation, to the best of my knowledge, is that we tend to believe that the federal government should do everything. Oh, this federal government is not doing this, federal government is not doing that. So if the federal government is there to do everything, why do we have state governments? Why do we have state governments? Then we should just say there's no state government, there's no local government, everything should be done by the federal government. So, as far as I'm concerned, the state government has not respected the provisions of the Ogoni Bill of Rights, especially when it comes to do with adequate representation of the Ogoni people. Their aim of becoming the #1 citizen or producing the #1 citizen of the state, right from 1999. The governor then was from the upland. That's His Excellency Sir Dr. Peter Ogoni. And after that, after 8 years, if that gentlemanly agreement should be called to the table of respect, then power should have ordinarily gone to the River area, but that was not to be. Another upland person took another 8 years. And after that, another upland person took another 8 years. So if you have 24 years, occupied by the uplanders, when it ought not to be so. So where is the gentlemanly agreement? I don't see anything as respect or sign of respect for that gentlemanly agreement. And I must tell you that this kind of thing is more like the winner takes it all. Somebody was telling me the other day that, look, whether we like it or not, the largest ethnic group in the state can always produce governor, even if no other ethnic group supports them. Because when they put their votes together, their vote is together more than what the remaining ethnic groups will produce. When you have that kind of mindset, it brings about agitation. And I've always said, I'm an apostle of the fact that people need to do things that will help other people's voices to be heard. In a good arrangement, no matter the size of an ethnic group, that ethnic group should be given an equal opportunity. That's when you talk about equity and justice. So if you're looking at the size of an ethnic group and for that reason you put that ethnic group under perpetual oppression, then we're not dealing with the issue of equity at all. So if I can always occupy that position because I have a voting strength that surpasses every other ethnic group put together. So where is the gentlemanly agreement? Now this has fueled higher agitations, because if one ethnic group has done this, let's say the gentlemanly agreement is respected, power is in or is with this particular ethnic group. When it moves from them and it goes to probably the riverine, as the power is coming from riverine, there is another ethnic group upland that is already prepared, knowing fully well that these people have done so, now is our turn. Nobody is going to agitate. But when that is skipped, it's more like, okay, if you can grab it by any means, just go ahead and do that. So that has not helped the political development of the state. There is nothing that you can actually do to succeed in a society like this without involving some elements of politics. And if the Ogonis have been crying for governorship, and now they are giving governorship but a step behind, there is hope that that gap will be bridged. And sooner than later, an Ogoni man will become governor. So any party or political platform that has given the Ogoni people this opportunity should be supported by the Ogonis. The entire Ogoni environment was destroyed through oil exploration. So if you need to clean up the environment, that thing you want to show or you want to do to remedy that should be seen physically. And it should be visible in almost every community of Ogoni. But the part of Ogoni where I come from, Ogoni, there is nothing that suggests the presence of hybrid. All we keep hearing is money has been released, money has been released. To my mind, hybrid has been hijacked by the political class. Just to make a name. So they keep telling the people, oh, it's on course, things are happening, there's no potable water. I was told that we need to provide potable water for the people. There's no such thing. So if you ask me today, I will tell you that the expectation of the Ogoni people has not been met in terms of environmental remediation through the cleanup or through hybrid. I don't know what is going to be tomorrow as of today. Now, when the environment was destroyed, a lot of people died. Farmlands were lost. If you want to do something, the same way the woman in the village felt the effect of that destruction, your remediation should also be such that the woman in the village will see what you are doing to bring back her farmland. Because that's the major source of livelihood. I don't see anything that will give as an excuse for not having an Ogoni government. I don't see it. I do not see it at all. Because negotiation, I want to believe, had gone on. The people had cried for a long time, telling them, look, you may be more powerful than we are in the state. We cannot just get this in on our own. But through this negotiation, engagement, and all that, we can have it. So it's for a political party to provide or offer itself as a platform for an Ogoni man to emerge. Do you understand? But that has not been done. However, because of an increased political awareness of the Ogoni people, who are more involved and more interested in political participation, I think the leaders of some of the political parties are beginning to understand that, look, you need to give these people a platform. Like I said earlier, he said when one is threatened with injustice, one accepts a smaller portion of that injustice as a favor. So as of today, if a particular political party has provided a platform making an Ogoni man a deputy governorship candidate, to me, that's the surest way. Because begin to talk about the known, not the unknown. The known today is that a political party has given an Ogoni man the deputy governorship slot. And the other political parties have not done that. So if you are a governorship candidate or you are the deputy governorship candidate or you are the deputy governor, you're one step closer to becoming a governor. So I think such political platform should be supported by the people of the Ogoni. It should be supported.
Thank you very much, Ifunanya. And now for our thank you for this Sunday. He was born on November the 27th, 1976, and named Olaruwaju Fasasi. And as his name invokes, wealth will move with him forward. Indeed, it did. Stage name, Sound Sultan. He touched many souls with his positive attitude to music, even as his fame and fortune grew. And when he died in the United States on July 11th, 2021, music lovers felt a sense of personal loss of the fun he created with his entertaining porn. This Sunday, Sound Sultan puts admirable premium on our big girls. This is Audible.
This one goes out to all my honorable ladies out there.
Sound so tan.
If that girl don't see you up in the club, check. Yeah.
You roll up. Like a thriller.
No my plus size ladies,
She just dey roll her waist like Burodum, Burodum. See, she makes me want to touch her Burodum, Burodum. She be like Emmanuel, see backyard everywhere. Your African lady, your back and her evidence. So, them they call her every duty, me and they call her every evening. Make she report from my bunk every night for her evening duty.
Omo lomo yeah, omo lomo yeah, omo lomo yeah, no she my own model. Omo lomo yeah,
not true now.
Omo lomo yeah, no she my own model.
She just dey roll her waist like Burodum, Burodum. She makes me want to touch her Burodum, wanna take you home.
What is the meaning of fun? I don't know. Who are we to define? Tell me. This sorrow is mine, so you better shut up your mouth. Hey. Nothing in the world can come between me and my Yoruba. You say your girl is the best, and so is my Yoruba. I will walk down the aisle with my Yoruba, but I no go fi carry my Yoruba. But shall we go marry? Omo lomo yeah, omo lomo yeah, omo lomo yeah, no lose my own.
She just dey roll her waist like Burodum, Burodum.
And that's our package for this Sunday. On this segment of the program, of course, as we join my colleague, Marvelous Obomano, for Corruption Theory, and Wabweze Njoko. Good afternoon.
My people,
Una welcome to another edition of your Ogbenge program, Corruption Tori. Last week, we bring una correct information say EFCC, ICPC, police don carry the matter of fighting corruption for their head. We also tell una say for this season 3, country people and small pikin dem go carry this fight against corruption go join body. For the program wey we show last week, una see wetin our school pikin dem carry their mouth talk, shebi? This matter of corruption wey these children yarn show say our children don kukuma tie belt for waist, dey ready to fight this matter of corruption. This Sunday, we go tell you the story of students of Government Junior Secondary School and Emerald Royal International School wey dey from Pape, Abuja, wey don join body to kill wetin wan kill us wey be corruption. My name na Marvelous Oboman. Make una tanda with us.
This na Corruption Tori.
To begin Corruption Tori work for 2022, Corruption Tori waka go visit Government Junior Secondary School wey dey from Pape. Na for that visit wey Corruption Tori take establish the first secondary school anti-corruption club. The children dem come arrange day wey dem go inaugurate the club as e dey hot dem for body make dem start the fight against corruption. For the inauguration, the club members come perform better anti-corruption song wey dey sweet belle to show Corruption Tori say dem don ready to follow dem fight corruption. Abeg, make una see wetin dem talk.
I have decided to show corruption, no turning back, no turning back. Are you a student? Avoid corruption. A politician? Avoid corruption. Signature TV is watching you. Is watching you.
Adepoju Faridat, wey be the vice president of the club, come tell Corruption Tori say her body dey sweet her sake of say Signature TV don give dem better opportunity to carry this matter of corruption for their head.
I will fight corruption, I will report corruption, and I will speak out corruption.
Oga Kpatakpata, wey be the principal of the school, Yahaya Daudu, come yarn give the children say make dem no carry this opportunity play. Say make dem no put hand for anything wey be magu-magu.
Corruption is what is affecting almost everybody and most of the countries in the world. That is why sometimes things are not properly done well because of the selfish interest. We want to build your mind not to become a corrupt citizen.
The oga of Signature TV, wey be Vin Martin Obiora Ilo, wey send the head of ICT, Goswi Emeka, come swear the officers of the club. Im come beg dem make dem carry this fight against corruption dey go round dey tell people and say make dem try to dey talk anytime wey dey see anything wey be like corruption.
I pledge to serve with all my strength, to be an anti-corruption model, to act with integrity in all my dealings, in thoughts and action, to pilot this club to be better and serve the nation and the school, so help me God.
If you are telling your neighbor that you are an anti-corruption ambassador, you should not just be what? Saying it, you should do what? You should do it.
You should what? You should do it. That is to say, when you are in exam hall and you don't know the answer to the first question, you will not do what? You will not do expo.
The president of the club, Obi Kanis, wey dey JSS 3, come promise say im go work with other club members to carry the fight for corruption for inside and outside the school.
We wish to sincerely thank you, Signature Television, owner of Corruption Tori, for all you have done for us as a club. We promise to be vanguard for spreading the message in order to stop corruption in our schools and communities.
The patron and matron wey go dey supervise the club come talk their mind well.
We tend to go on sensitization of the entire students on the need to avoid corruption in their little way. They can play roles, talk to their fellow friends on the need to avoid corruption. Some of them lie to get school fees from their parents by increasing the amount. In their various environments too, they can also be vagars of anti-corruption.
Our aim is to include more members to this club by informing them about corruption, about how they need to speak the truth at all times. Even in school, they should shun exam malpractice.
Corruption tori again waka go Emerald Royal International School. The visit make sense well and come encourage corruption tori say make dem never relax for the matter of fighting corruption. As corruption tori land for the school, dem waka enter the office of the school principal wey be Mrs. Perpetua Iheme. The chief operating officer of Signature TV, Chief Nwabueze Njoko, come tell the principal wetin carry dem show face.
Is to begin to make our younger people, our children, hear, understand, and what some of them may relate what happened last night in their farm. When we bring the story, the message to the children, some of them will begin to understand what happened to them. I don't have books to go to school. My father's working. He has not been paid. Who stole the money? Where is the money first? We begin to teach our children to be sensitive and teach the family, because a child, you wonder the influence the children in this school have on their parents at home. You will be amazed. They begin to ask questions.
As the school principal come carry ear hear the good news wey corruption tori carry come for the school, she come assure us say wetin we carry for mind come say e go work. She come talk say e dey good make we dey carry children for hand for this matter of corruption, sake of say people wey dey for government no get this kind opportunity wey the school children get now when dem go school, and na im make dem dey corrupt.
I would say that maybe these are leaders we are not properly educated. That's why we are facing what we are facing today. But if we start with children, as they grow, definitely they will know their right from their left. And this idea of corruption, by God's grace, will subside, and they can help handle it in future, if you ask me. So it's a welcome idea, it's a laudable idea, sir.
Corruption tori come waka go meet the school children wey don arrange sidon dey wait. The children come talk their mind well wetin dem know about corruption and how e dey take affect their education and their family.
When you did not read your books and you try to copy from the examination, when you grow up and you don't know that exact thing they have taught you because you haven't read your books, it can affect you like you won't be able to get a job that will provide for you and your family.
When you did not read your book when your teacher is teaching you, if you try to cheat, you may be caught in that process and you may be expelled from the school.
Corruption can make us not have those teachers who will not learn what we are supposed to learn. Teachers that are supposed to teach us, they will be teaching us another thing instead of what we are supposed to learn.
Corruption can make you not be able to go to school because your parents cannot pay their fee, your school fees.
When someone is your friend and the person is making noise, you will not report to the person, but the person that is not your friend, but the person was not making noise, you tell your teacher that the person that was making noise. Corruption is any evil means of using your power to get something from someone.
And your friend is making noise, and the other one is not making noise. So you ask the person that's making noise to give you his biscuit or sweet, so that you won't write his name.
By the use of your power, maybe you're big, you're strong, and you're older than someone. So you always bully that person, beating the person, forcing the person to like bring money for you or do whatever he wants for you.
Corruption tori after come share give the students wetin dem dey use take fight corruption.
Let us formally present this assignment to you.
Many more, so that apart from you getting, your schoolmates can also get. Principal, on behalf of Corruption Tori, MacArthur Foundation, we are presenting this so that more students can get. Thank you very much.
On behalf of the students, management, and staff members of Emerald Royal International Schools, I want to say a big thank you to you, sir, for the information you have given us and the advice you have given to us. And we also want to say thank you to Corruption Tori for giving us an opportunity to see you here. And we hope that we will see you next time.
Peace, the corruption theory.
My people, if you no happy for this our country wey be Nigeria, say these young children don dey learn, understand, and even don carry the matter of corruption for their head. Me, I no kukuma know wetin go fit make you happy for this life. My belle just dey sweet me sake of say we don dey win this fight against corruption. Thank you Mpape Junior Secondary School and Emerald Royal International School Mpape for becoming anti-corruption ambassadors and for carrying the matter of corruption for una head. Let the fight continue. Now here we go end corruption tori for this Sunday. Make we jam again next week. My name na Marvelous Oboman. Na bye bye yo.